I think I have given 5 compounds homework. So the first one, anybody? What is the first one, Amma? Aluminum?
Magnesium.
Magnesium chloride.
Magnesium chloride. So magnesium chloride. So we all knows that magnesium is a what actually? Cation or anion? All of you? It is a cation and chloride is a what ion? Anion. So magnesium is a cation. What is the valency of magnesium? Mg 2 plus. Chlorine is minus. So if you have been done, now symbols. So write the symbols, everybody. Symbols, what is that? Mg and here Cl. Magnesium is 2 valency. Valencies. So 2 and 1. So if you have been done, which method? What is the method name? Crisscross method. So we will get the formula Mg1Cl2, which equals to MgCl2. So that's all. Have you done correctly, everybody? I don't know how many of you done. Please do it. Any doubt? You can ask. Are you clear, everyone? Yes. Next compound. Yes. What is the next compound? This is a one.
Ammonium carbonate.
Ammonium carbonate. Okay. So ammonium carbonate. You have to be little careful here. So ammonium carbonate, if you have taken, so of course, this is the negative ion, anion, and this is the positive ion. But ammonium, there is a specialty. Have you checked it? The one and only positive polyatomic ion. Am I right or wrong? Ammonium. The one and only positive polyatomic ion is ammonium. Am I right, guys? Everyone? Yes, please. So what is the formula? Ammonium formula. NH?
NH plus 4.
Yeah, NH4 plus. NH plus 4 illa. NH4 plus. Purema. Formula first. Next only valency. Next carbonate. What is that carbonate, everybody? CO3. 2 minus. That's why I said you to learn the tabular column. Most important one. So what is the symbols, all of you? Symbols. NH4 CO3. Now valencies. What is valencies? 1 and 2. So apply for crisscross. As I said, this 2 is not belongs to hydrogen alone. It is belongs to entire atom. So sorry, ion. So NH4 twice, CO3 1, but 1 is not required to show. So what is the formula will come? NH4 twice CO3. So this is the formula for ammonium carbonate. How many of you done correctly? Have you all got the answer? Please. Yes. Next. Yes, next, calcium hydroxide. Okay. So this is very important. Calcium hydroxide. Unless you practice, it is not possible to get the formulas easily. You are in class 7th or 8th or 9th or 10th or 11th, wherever you are. Unless you are good in the chemical formula, you can never be good in the chemistry. So chemical formulas, you should make always error-free. Please note it. Most important thing in the chemistry, no mistake in the chemical formula. Then automatically everything will be proper. So please understand that. So that's what we are doing next. What is that, everybody? Calcium hydroxide. What is the cation here, everybody? Calcium is the cation and hydroxide is the anion. So what is the cation? Calcium. What is that, everybody? Ca2 plus hydroxide OH minus. Am I right? Minus. So symbols. What is the symbols, everybody? Calcium Ca and hydroxide is what? OH. And valencies. Valencies. What is the calcium valency? 2. Hydroxide valency is what? 1. So now if you have noticed it, so crisscross method if you do it. So Ca1, this one if you write OH2, is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? This is wrong. Why?
Wrong, sir.
This belongs to for whole because this is not OH separately. It is completely polyatomic ion. So that is why it has to come bracket. So what is the correct answer? CaOH twice. Read it, everybody. Calcium hydroxide. CaOH twice. Okay. 10th class, you will study minimum this compound name. Every chapter, 100% it will come. More than 100 times you will study that same compound. Calcium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Everywhere you'll study calcium hydroxide. That is one of the most important chemical compound. But till today, many they will make error, the same mistake. This is, they will write the chemical formula. That's why that problem should not come to you. And you have to be very extra careful with the chemical formulas. I hope you all understand. Anybody having any doubt, you can ask me. Next, fourth one. What is my next one? Make it quick, everyone.
Copper sulfate.
Copper sulfate. So copper sulfate, yes, Mr. Gokul will say. What is your formula, Mr. Gokul, copper sulfate? Copper is Cu2 plus and sulfate is SO4 2 minus. Gokul don't want to speak means you can leave from the meeting. No more going to be excused, whomever it is.
So Cu plus.
Cu plus illa, Cu2 plus. அது எனக்கு formula தெரியாது. Cu2 plus. Cu plus or Cu2 plus, guys? Verify the tabular column.
Cu plus.
Ah? Yes, Mari?
So wait a minute.
You all verify the book. You have a book, correct? Verify it. Cu2 plus or Cu plus or? Copper is Cu2 plus, not Cu plus. Check it, everybody. So remember, copper, we used to say Cu2 plus only. So you can write symbols. What is the symbols? Cu and SO4 and valencies is 2 and 2. So 2 and 2 means you can make it crisscross. Mr. Gokul, I called you, but no response. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to be excused anymore, those who are not involving in the class. So Cu2, SO4 twice. So if you notice it, everybody carefully, both are even number only. So both can be divided with the same lowest number always. So I will write it as a, what is the formula? CuSO4. Copper sulfate, simpler formula is CuSO4. CuSO4 is the formula of copper sulfate. Now, what you said, Mari? You are having doubt in aluminum sulfate, huh?
No, sir, copper sulfate.
Yeah, that's
complete.
Copper sulfate is CuSO4. Any doubt, anybody? You can ask me. Are you clear, all of you?
Sir.
Yes. Do it, everybody. Any mistakes you have done, nothing wrong in that. You have to modify it. You should learn it. That is what is needed. Understood?
Sir, that was another one question, sir. Copper sulfate, sir. 13th
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Aluminum sulfate, copper sulfate.
Yes, sir, aluminum.
Yes, yes. Okay. Clear, everybody? Girls? Next, aluminum sulfate. Aluminum sulfate. So aluminum sulfate, what is the positive ion, cation, everybody? What is the cation? Al
Aluminum.
sulfate, SO4 2 minus. So symbols. What is the symbols? Al SO4. Valencies. What is that? 3 and 2. So if you have been applied the crisscross method, what is the formula will come? Al2SO4 thrice. Say once or twice, then the formula will remember. Al2SO4, what is that?
Thrice.
Al2SO4 thrice. Clear, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt, anybody can ask. Prima, I hope you all done. Everybody now? Are you clear, Mr. Pranav? Anything doubt?
Yes, sir.
Do it quick. Hasini, this much later. 10 minutes, 15 minutes late almost. Next. Write properties of ionic compounds. Of course, class 10th you will study again. But by the time many properties you will study, but just you need to know, differentiate the ionic compounds and covalent compounds. You need to have that difference, why they are different, why they do not have similar things. So, properties of ionic compounds is, ionic compounds are made up of what? Oppositely same charged, different charged, or what is that, everybody? Yes, please. They made up of, what, guys? Oppositely charged ions. What is that ions, everybody? Cation, and another one is what? Anion. Okay, clear, everybody? Next, first point. Next, they have high melting points, high melting and boiling points. Next, remember, most of the ionic compounds, most of the ionic compounds exist in solid state only. Exist in what state, everybody? Solid state. Clear?
So one doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, ionic compounds in the sense when one metal and non-metal reacts,
Yes, Mar. Yes.
ionic
Yes.
metal and non-metal reacts,
Yes.
it will
Not
give
only, that's what, Mari. For example, if you take ammonium carbonate means no
Can
metal.
we take non-metal and non-metal, sir?
Non-metal, we will never get it. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
And that, of course, in this case, you tell me, ammonium carbonate, no metal and no non-metal. One positive polyatomic ion, one negative polyatomic ion, we are getting the ionic compound. That's what I am saying you. So instead of saying metal and non-metal, you say cation and anion. That's all, it is over. Are you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Never specify. Generally, we'll say metal and non-metal ionic compounds, the non-metal and non-metal covalent compounds. But in this particular case, if you take metal and non-metal means it is not going to satisfy. So that's why I'm taking it as a cation and anion. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Next. So having most of the ionic compounds exist in what state? Solid state. Now, they will conduct electricity in aqueous solution only. See, remember, when they are in solid state, no current will be passing through them. Only they will conduct the electricity when they are in aqueous. What do you mean by aqueous? Aqueous solution, or they have been molten state. Means they have been melted directly or dissolved in what? Everybody. Dissolved in what? I already taught you aqueous state means dissolved in what? Water. Understanding? So most of them, they are soluble in water. If you dissolve them in water, they are called it as aqueous solution. Then only they will conduct the electricity. Or else you directly melt them. Then also they will conduct the electricity. Do you understand, everybody? All of you clear? So when in the solid state, they will never conduct electricity. Only when either they dissolved in water or they melted directly, that is what they'll conduct the electricity. So this is what we used to call it as, when the dissolved state or aqueous state, where the electricity will pass, we used to call it as a electrolytes. Note it. Next year, last year you studied in 8th class, chemical effects of electric current. Do you remember anybody? Chemical effects of electric current. Yes? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No. The same thing is going to happen now. Okay, wa? So that is what we have to remember. Electrolyte. Next year again, 10th class will get it. What is electrolytes? What is electrolysis process and all. So when they will conduct the electricity? Only when they dissolved in water. Okay, or they have been melted. And the last property, the repeating unit is called it as, see, in a covalent compounds, repeating unit is called it as a what? Covalent compounds. repeating unit is called as a molecule because they are sharing of electrons. But here, repeating unit is called unit cell. What is to call, everybody?
The repeating unit in the sense what, sir?
Repeating unit means, for example, I'll take, suppose if you take water, one molecule, another molecule, another molecule, another molecule. Like that, I'm taking a molecule because it is a what compound? Covalent compound. So that is why in covalent compound, each one is called as a molecule. But if I take, for example, copper sulfate, copper sulfate, copper sulfate, copper sulfate. So entire copper sulfate, we are having copper sulfate molecules only. Am I right or wrong? This is called as a repeating unit, or we can say actually repeating unit. So which is called as a unit cell. Are you clear, everybody? Yes, please. So because they are what compounds? Ionic.
Compounds.
Respond. Ionic compounds. So ionic compounds, each repeating one, we used to call it as a unit cell.